This is the energy in the air. There's no going back. There's no going back to what used to be. There isn't. The line has literally been drawn. It's not in the sand. There is a permanent line that has been drawn, and there is no going back over that line. That is where we're at now, not just as a nation, but as a world as a whole. There is no going back. That is the energy that's in the air. Perhaps you can feel it. Perhaps you can't. For years, for many, many, many years, for at least a whole generation, that could be 70 years, a whole generation. Well, Gina, what's a whole generation? I am a generation. My children are a generation. My parents are a generation. A generation, if you look within a family structure, there's no going back. We didn't get to where we were overnight. It was a whole generational thing that literally, slowly crept up. You know that Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil? Remember that? A whole generation it took to get to the point we were on the timeline. It wasn't a timeline like this. It's slowly, we actually, we were started up here, a whole generation, and slowly we were descending. It was a deliberate descension, slowly descending, 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 descending for where we once were, to where we practically bottomed out. Now we're at a point in the timeline where that has stopped. There's a block wall, there is a solid line. There's no more of that descending that's occurring. It's being put to a stop. And the goal out there, the consensus, good morning. There's no comments on here if you're watching it and we're 2 hours or 2 minutes and 3 minutes into the video. If you say I don't see no live stream, no live comments. Hello, Cheyenne. Good morning. Now we're at the point, this is the energy that's out there. It took a whole generation that took us. A power came in. You remember the Paul Harvey, If I Were the Devil? It came in. That's what it did. We started our descent slowly, 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 slowly. It's like they slowly poisoned the world to where we were like this. And there was like a threshold, spiritually speaking, a threshold. They wanted us to fall beneath that threshold. They wanted to open up a dark portal door, more or less, open up the big pit to where the whole entire earth starts from up here, the populace of people, slowly, 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 so you won't recognize what's happening. Slowly, 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 get to right here to where you have a platform and to where the door opens up and you fall into that, the pits of hell, more or less. You fall into that monstrous black hole. Now we're there. There is no, there's no going beyond. There is literally, spiritually speaking, there's no going back. The line has been drawn, the wall has been built. And now the goal is, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry for saying this. It is a radical change that is coming. Radical. It is going to be swift. That is the mindset, that is the energy that's out there. It is going to be swift because there is a gigantic, gigantic spiritual barrier that has been put up. It is massive spiritually. That's the energy that I felt as I woke up. There is no going back. No, there's no going back for this energy that started the descent to wanted to push us further, 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 further. It's no going back. We're not going to go back and continue now. There is great change that is upon the whole earth. Enormous change, whether you like it or not. It's a painful change because we've had a whole generation for this descent to occur. A whole generation, but it's been stopped. It wanted, let me tell you what it wanted to do. Wipe out humanity. That was its goal. The if I were the devil, wipe it completely out. Poison it. It wanted to continue to do not just one generation, but the next generation and the next generation. Stopped it. And a lot of change and a lot of damage has been done. Enormous damage has been done on Earth. It's literally like this. The energy cannot, that energy that caused the descent, it cannot now, I got my hand like this, it can't get beyond this big, massive, massive spiritual barrier that has been put up. It can't go any further. It can't complete what it started. It can't. It's held back completely. Completely. It can't even, there's nowhere for that energy to go. There's not. It can't go back. It can't climb back up and start back where it started. It can't. It's a big barrier. There is a massive, massive change that's coming. It's going to be very swift. It's going to ruffle a whole lot of feathers. A whole lot of people at the core. And you may not agree, even though you know something has got to be done, because we were once up here and then we have descended so low. You may agree that something needs to be done, but you may not agree what the change is that's coming. But it's not up to you to what form that change comes. It's not up to me in which form that change come. And it's going to come in many different forms in many different ways. But it literally has, it is a massive, I'm not joking, a massive spiritual barrier has been put up. It's a spiritual battle and a physical battle, but a massive spiritual barrier. It's going to affect you, the change that's coming. What has happened is horrific. Slowly. They did it slowly, slyly. Snuck it right in so you wouldn't really notice. It was a master plan. It truly was a master plan to totally destroy the earth, the people, and who they were on the inside. Corrupt it to the core. Corrupt it to the core. And it is tied to way, 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 way long ago. Ancient beginnings. It was tied to that, and it is tied to that. But now, you're not going to like it. There's going to be a lot of people who are not going to like how fast that change comes. They're not going to like it. And you may agree that we need change. We need change. We need to stop it. Well, it's going to have to be something swift. Swift. It ain't going to be a slow change that occurs. Oh no, it is going to be swift. It's not going to take 70 years to, like this did. It's not. It's going to happen fast, extremely fast. Hello. Good morning. People are going to get upset, very upset. Even those who say we need to do something. Our world is just about destroyed. A generation, perhaps two, are being poisoned. And in many, many ways, way up there, slow. That's the energy that's out there. Perhaps you feel it. And what's coming next? There's going to be people, you may be watching this. You may be one of those people who helped make that spiritual barrier. You may. You may be creating that spiritual barrier, your energy, whether you realize it or not. Help create it. It's energy. It's energy. It's a massive, it's a white energy. Massive white. We're probably the last generation. I don't believe we're the last generation, so to speak, but we are the generation where this spiritual barrier has came up. It has, I can tell you, it has literally came up. It's massive. And it's going to cause a lot of upheaval. It's going to rattle a lot of people at the core. You're going to get so shaken up, so shooken at your core. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't like what's happening. It's going to shake you to the core before it's all said and done. You got to be strong. You have got to be strong. Because this battle's just heated up. It's got more intense, and it's going to grow more intense. The energy that came on there, that's the energy that's out there that was part of, that's the energy. You got to stand your ground. You've got to stand your ground. And I will not get into detail. I'm not. You know within your spirit what's coming. You know what's in your spirit. You can feel it, what's going to happen to a certain degree. And you know it's going to be very painful. And it's going to bring forth a lot of destruction. because it's going to bring forth a dismantling of a foundation that was built on evil. It truly was. They built it. They laid the foundation long time ago. They built it. They built it to where they could do their master plan and cause the descent like that. But they didn't want it to flatline. They wanted humanity to literally fall straight through, cross the barrier, go straight down. That's what they wanted. The energy, it's an evil energy. The foundation of that energy is being dismantled. um, let me, yeah. Can you feel the energy in the air? The energy that's being blocked, the overall energy that's being blocked, it's furious. It is furious. I accidentally hid someone, but I unhid them. Sorry, Schwinn. Yeah, I need to lighten up. I have a tendency to take things very, very seriously. That's who I am at the core. It's no going back. The threshold has been reached. You're gonna find yourself, or you're already there. You have already took your stand, and you're standing firm. You've got that solitude on the inside of you, that determination, that spirit, to where you say enough's enough. Enough's enough. And you probably can feel that spirit. Yeah. Oh, that's okay, Schwinn, honey. That's okay. Yeah. It's all right. There's strength in numbers spiritually. Just prepare yourself on the inside of your being right here. Recognize where we're at on this timeline. It's a timeline. It took a whole generation. It's fine. I'm gonna go. I am. Yeah. So, Lori, honey, it will not be easy. And this is not, listen, this is not for everyone. You say, well, I'm not going to have nothing to do with this. I can't. I agree there needs to be change, but oh my gosh, I can't do that. It's not your battle to fight. And that's okay. It's like jobs that people do. Not everybody can do certain jobs that other people can. They can't. because they don't have the skill set to do it. Or perhaps they don't have the, I don't know, personality, the mindset. It's okay. It's okay if you agree change needs to be done. And it's okay if you don't agree with the type of change, because there's no simple answer. There's no simple answer at all. But at least you agree some change needs to be made. And it's drastic. You do what you can. If you pray for not so horrific of an outcome, if you pray for peace, it's great. You want to have the peace in your spirit. You really do. Let me read this comment. Well, Big John, y'all channel gonna be shut down for real. If it ain't approved, we're gonna be checking. Y'all shut it and approve. We going to be checking all y'all stuff on beer, on the off type. Good to see if you're doing stuff y'all ain't supposed to freestyle reports. We coming, dude, for real. Oh, love you too. Hey, that's okay, Pippi. I don't even know what you're saying, Big John. I don't. Yeah. Oh, you just got to sing Don't Worry, Be Happy. Singing about a thing because every little thing is going to be all right. Yeah, that's a beautiful song. In the end it is. In the end. Will. Yeah. That spiritual barrel, that's the energy. There literally is a massive spiritual barrier that has went up. It goes no further than this. That descent, it's not going any further. No, it's and it can't go back. It cannot retreat. That in that type of energy, it can't retreat, because when we were at the top, way up here on the graph, we were a high. It was a high energy. It wasn't no low vibrational, but slowly, their energy. It's a low energy that does it. It literally just like boom brought us down. It can't vibe that high to climb back up to where it started. It can't. It can't go any higher. It's only place it can go is lower, and there's a big wall. If you think of it as energy. The wheat from the tares. Good morning. I hope this made sense to someone. That's the energy that's in the air. It's all about energy. Dance videos. I can't dance if I'm not in the mood to dance, because I don't want to, my heart won't be in it. Yeah. Good morning, Sharon. How you doing? Great change is coming, and it's going to be swift. Swift. And a lot of people's lives are going to get destroyed. They are. A lot of people didn't know what they were walking into because it happened over time. Hello, Al, honey. Yeah, it will wax code. Oh, thank you, Schwinn. Al, honey, Schwinn paid me a compliment. I thought Schwinn was being a little whatever. So I rang my bell because I was in a serious, real serious mindset. And then I read the comment and then I unblocked Schwinn because Schwinn didn't mean nothing by it. But I was too in my serious mode. Hey, M9. Yeah, it's coming. I said that a great spiritual wall has been built, a massive spiritual barrier. It's white, it's massive. And the descent has been stopped. It started like a generation ago. It's like a generation. It's like, in it, remember the Paul Harvey, if I were the devil, I would do this and I would do that. We were way up here, and we slowly descended according to that energy's massive plan. But it wanted to take us below the threshold. But this is what I feel, a massive spiritual wall. It's enormous. It's white. Barrier has been put up to where that energy cannot go beyond it. And we can't fall beneath that threshold now like it wanted to. It wanted to, like, more or less drive us off a cliff to a very low, low, low vibration. Yeah. Al, honey, I'm not talking about that spiritual wall. I know we can pass through it. Is that what you're saying? If your vibration is high enough, you can pass through that spiritual barrier because you built it. But spiritually speaking, it's of the light. It's of love. But the low vibration energy cannot pass through it because it's a lower density. You cannot pass through. It doesn't have the right frequency, and it never will have the right frequency to freely go in and out. It can't. That's what I'm saying. It's like when you meet somebody and you just clash with them because you ain't got the right frequency. You can't get along with them. You can't. And it's like a portal also. No one gets beyond the portal. No low density energy can get beyond the portal. Kind of like a, you know, yeah, it's vibration is the wall. I felt it this morning. There's no going back for that low energy. It can't go any further. It cannot carry out its plan because the plan that it has didn't bring forth any good. It brought forth destruction. But it will end up being destroyed itself, that energy. It'll be destroyed or completely neutralized to where it no longer has the effect that it used to have. That energy will flow somewhere else, and it will be used for good. It will not be used for bad anymore. That's what I'm feeling in the spiritual realm. Love raises your vibration. Oh, yes, Cheyenne, like a dark ditch in the middle of the night. Yeah. If you're just tuning in, welcome. I did have my robe on. I did have my night clothes on. I said, Gina, honey, come on now. You talking a serious conversation. You're going to sit there in your nightgown, your robe, and people are going to take you seriously. Get some clothes on, Gina. Put something on so you don't look like somebody who's just sitting there. So people ain't going to take you serious. Well, this is what I just put on. I said, okay, I'll do it. You did it. Peace from southwest of Eden, Renegade. Yeah, good morning. The whole men become whole vibration. Yeah, it's how holy men becomes the vibration. Peace to you too. There's no going back for Earth, for the people on Earth. There literally has been a spiritual barrier that has been put up. It's a massive white barrier. It's impenetrable by the low vibrational energy, by the darkness. It cannot pass through. It cannot go any further. It can't. So there it will have to stay and fight the battle. It can't retreat either. It's going to have to stay there and fight the battle. It can't backtrack to where it brought us from. It can't. That energy's now been dispelled. It has to stay right there at that white spiritual barrier, and that's where it has to fight. It's not happy, and it's going to be a I'm hearing the word devastating battle on a lot of fronts, but you have the strength within to withstand it. You do. It's going to devastate a lot of people. It's going to shake people to the core. It's going to wake them up, and they may not realize they've been in a deep sleep, a deep spiritual sleep. Some will not wake up because they're part of that energy, that army that was created. You can't. You won't be able to reason with them. You won't. The time is up. I agree with you, Goddess Love. The time is up. And there's no going back. That's right, Mel Jeffrey. Yes, Cheyenne. They may not be upset right now, but they're going to be upset. They are. Because they won't be able to cross over. So you think of the big ice wall that's supposed to be out there. They can't go over that ice wall. In the UK, oh, yeah. All is being exposed. No, that's right, M9. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle. Once open, going back isn't an action. No. Devastating. We may even experience devastation around us, but you'll be able to stand. You will. Sharon Rose, honey, yes. No self-control now. And people are angry. It's going to be a more angrier world. We're going to have a more angrier world, said Klaus Schwab. Yeah. Yes, intentionally, absolutely, Mel Jeffries. The best thing we can do for the planet is intentionally raise our vibration, speaking love. I totally agree with you. I do. Not saying that we won't stumble and fall, but we won't stay down. We'll pick ourselves back up. May have momentarily setbacks, but that's all they are. momentarily, moments of setbacks. But then that's it. No, you got to stand. My nose is starting to tickle if you're just tuning in. Southampton, UK. Hatchy Hatchy. Yeah. Um, I am going to go. I'm going to heat up my coffee. And, yeah. Type doll. If the genie allows you 3 wishes, then you can wish for it to go back in its bottle. Wow, that's a good one. It really is. Hold on to our Father in heaven. Yep. Good afternoon, Estelle. Your mantra is every day, I am the love, I am the light, I am the truth, I am. Remember that? Sam, I am. Why did they do that book? And I'm not sure if the Sam, I am, was the, I don't know. I don't know why they did that book. They just brought that back in my mind. It's coffee time. Al Honey, black coffee, and I got to get started on my day. The veil is absolutely thinning. You can see through it. You can. There was a movie too. Sam, that I am. Sam, that I am, that I am. Oh, Danny, you just can't go. You just arrived. This is what's in the air. This is what I felt this morning. There is a massive, massive spiritual barrier that has been put up. It's a great big, massive spiritual white wall of energy. And this energy that literally took us from right here and caused our descent for the past 70 years, like a whole generation, it was not allowed to reach the threshold because there was the threshold right here. It brought us on the brink right to the threshold. It's ideal for us. Its plan was to remove the threshold so we fall straight through it and down. But before that was allowed to happen, this massive spiritual wall, it has been built. And that energy cannot go any further. There is no going back. It doesn't have it has no means of backtracking. It's stuck right there at that big, massive spiritual wall. It can't go through it. So there where it sets, there where it stands, is where it has to fight its battle. And it's going to fight. It wants to fight, but it's going to be a whole lot more difficult because it's cornered. It can't go forward. Its plans have stopped. And if you are a high vibrational person, if you've got the love of God on the inside, that frequency of love built that wall. It was an overall consensus in the spiritual realm to build that wall, that massive spiritual wall. Because your energy, your love, built that wall. Said no more. No more. And this is where, I'm using my hand as it, this is where the battle is at. This side. You can pass through it. I can pass through it because it was our vibration. It's a vibrational spiritual wall of high, high energy. We can pass through it, but that can't. It can't go beyond it. If it tries to go beyond it, it will diminish. Its energy signature will diminish and it will become weaker and weaker and weaker until it is no more. And the energy that it had will literally be transmuted into a higher frequency. It will go back from the original source. That's why it doesn't really want to go through it, because it loses strength. And everyone connected with that type of energy, they literally will lose the strength within them to keep fighting. It will diminish. And by the time they would even make it through, because it's massive, it's very thick. The wall is the spiritual wall. It literally is like stripping them of everything that is dark, that is evil. It's like a cleansing barrier to where there's nothing left. It can't pass through. That's how I see it. It's like that. The battle's here. The wall's been built. Spiritual wall. I'm going to go. That's the energy that's out there. There's no going back. There isn't. God's grace is sufficient. Yeah. That's right, Vanessa, honey. Oh, you've been crying a lot. Well, it's cleansing. Crying is cleansing. It is. You have always thought there'd be a divide between the parallel dimensions. Absolutely. I'm going to read your comment, Christine. And I'd like to think that I'm on the 5th dimension side, and those on the 3rd cannot come through. Yeah. That's right. Water and oil. I like that, M9. We are the equivalent of water on oil. I'm going to. I never can drink a whole cup of coffee. I might drink maybe 4 ounces. Yeah, I'm going to go. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Thank you, Pippi, Lou, and Al, honey. Thank you all for your comments. Here we are. Love you.